Hey, Greg. Thanks so much for talking to me.
Problem.
Just talking to Diego about how this is the second game in a row that the team hasn't been able to hold a lead. Of course, this is a worldie from Delgado there for the second goal. But where do you think the problem lies in not being able to hold these leads? Is it an execution thing, or is it a mentality thing?
I think, again, like for us, the issue is that the game is 90 minutes, and inside of the game, there are multiple plays that equate into kind of key plays inside of the game. We've talked a lot this year about defending in the box, crosses, being more connected to men, being able to be physical with them. And the first goal, we get up 1-0. The first goal, it's a crossing situation. We lose a mark in the back. They cross to the back post, and they're able to put it right back into the mix, I think. And it becomes, again, a situation where in some of these key plays through the course of the game, and we do some of them through the course of the game, we do manage the situation. And that keeps us in games, of course. But then there's just too many moments that we have breakdowns. And sometimes you can say it's a mentality. I think the second goal is a mentality breakdown. I think the first goal is an assignment breakdown. And you can go through the different games and you can probably attach different things to each goal, But the second goal, possibly a foul on Joe as the guy kind of leaves the leg in as Joe's turning back. But even when the ball turns over, we have enough numbers behind the ball to deal with the play. Right, Zonka needs to release, and because there's nothing for him to keep dropping back for, he needs to release quicker and harder, and not allow Delgado to get off a clean shot. There's no reason for us to be slow in doing so. If we were outnumbered, I get it. If there's a space there that we have to manage, I get it. But that's not the case. We had enough numbers. The guy on the inside and outside of him were both dealt with. We need to release. So again, it's a situation that. It arises a little bit out of nothing. We think we have possession, and all of a sudden we don't have possession. And then for me, it's a mentality that we have to switch on, and we have to make the appropriate decision quickly in that and be appropriately aggressive in the situation. And we were not. We were passive, and we allow. Yeah, he hits a great shot, so kudos to him. But he shouldn't have that time and space to be able to line that up and get a free look, in my opinion, because we have enough numbers behind the ball to deal with it. So, again, I think sometimes, we find some ways. Again, outside of that, I don't think they had a lot. I think inside of that, they were over-pressing a lot in the first half where they were getting man-to-man, and our 9 has to be able to be a release valve for us. And we didn't hold one ball that we played to our 9 in the first half. And so, when a team goes man-to-man and our goalkeeper is looking up high, we've got to be able to, as Miggy did a better job in the second half of battling through situations. He still lost a few, but battling through situations, because all it takes is for us to control a couple or a few of those, get on the other side of them, and then they start to think twice about over-pressing us. And the problem is we lost every single one, so there was no penalty for them to over-press us. And then what ends up happening is... Right, we end up conceding more possessions in our defensive half of the field, and now you've got to manage more situations defensively. So it's a combination of things, Robert. But inside of it, again, they don't create many chances, but the few semi chances that they create, we help turn them into goals, in my opinion.
Even before your time here with the Galaxy, LA's found Dallas a really, really hard place to play. It's been a decade since they've gotten a win there at Toyota. What makes it so hard to play there?
Yeah, I mean, I think a few of the times that we've come here, they've been middle of the day games, and it doesn't mean a whole lot other than, again, the game goes into, the conditions are different. It's hot, there's some humidity involved, whatever, and especially in the summer, it's brutal. But like a day like today, it's still warm, and it's an important game. It's a playoff implication game, especially for the other team, and to play these games in Dallas at 3:00 in the afternoon just doesn't make sense to me, because we want these games to be high intensity, high speed for the fans, for everybody. We don't want it to be walking soccer like it was part of the time out there. So I just don't understand it. I know maybe there's television involved, but I just don't understand it. Even for the television, for everyone, you want a game at this time of year. This is the special part of this time of year. You want high intensity. You want people sprinting as much as possible. You want challenges. You want the game to be fast, and you want it to be, you have intensity. And it just, these games in Dallas, when you come in, it's the middle of the day, or it's in the summer, even in the evenings. It's just slow pace, and I feel like we haven't managed the conditions well. Today we lost too many balls where I felt like we weren't moving quick enough to support each other, and in some of the man-on-man pressing situations where we weren't showing up and we weren't sharp. We were missing passes. As I said, at the top we were losing some duels. But I think in order to break, and I thought all through, as an example, in Leagues Cup, a lot of the Mexican League teams would overpress us in man-to-man, and we were fantastic in those situations. But the game was moving fast. Players were moving fast. The conditions were evening. Today I just felt like we were too slow sometimes to really hurt them for extending their pressure the way they did. So does that equate to every time? I don't know. I think it has a little something to do with it, but maybe not every single time. But I felt like today was a day with better execution. I think we can get a result, and we didn't execute on both ends as clean as we needed to.
And finally, to wrap up, Diego scored today, last game, and he's kind of played out of his, well, not kind of, but he has played out of his traditional position all year. So just kind of speak on what he means to this team, and basically a difficult year for the team, like what he's been able to bring to that locker room during this difficult period.
Yeah, look, I would argue he's been one of our most important players for the whole season, because he's out there, shows up every single day. He's ready to play every single game. I don't know if he was unavailable even one game this year. And if we needed him to play in a pivot, which is what I felt kind of got us moving in the right direction mid-season a little bit, when he and Eddie were in there with Marco, I felt like we started to turn the momentum of our season around a bit more. And that's not his traditional position. When he has to play wide because we're missing one of the two wingers, or we have to do something different with them, he gives us that. But for me, he's the consummate team guy. He's a connector in the locker room. He understands our league, and he understands players from different places, so he's able to connect with everybody. And tactically, he's just very aware. He knows what we're trying to do out there, and he understands the solutions inside of the game. And so again, he's been a huge piece for us, because he's always available, and he's so versatile in being able to put him into different areas. And then again, off the field, he brings a presence that few others do outside of our group.
Greg, thanks so much. Travel safe.
Okay, thanks, Robert.
Thanks, Rob.